Have you ever felt like your mind just refuses to stay still? It's like no matter how hard you try, your focus slips away from your hands. In a small, quiet village, surrounded by fields and dusty roads, there lived a boy named Arin. He was bright, curious, and full of potential. Everyone said so. Teachers praised his intelligence, his quick answers, his sharp memory. But Arin had a problem that no one could solve for him. His mind would not stay in one place. Whenever he tried to read, his eyes moved across the page, but his thoughts ran elsewhere. A bird outside the window, a game he wanted to play, a sound in the street, a message on his phone, anything could pull him away. If he sat down to study, he would find himself thinking about his friends, his games, what was for dinner, or a random video he saw yesterday. His father watched this with growing concern. One evening, as Arin sat at his desk pretending to study while doodling in the margins of his notebook, his father came and sat beside him. "Son," he said gently, "your mind is like a wild horse. If you don't learn to guide it, it will drag you wherever it wants to go, and often in the wrong direction. But if you can discipline it, if you can train it, that same wild horse can carry you anywhere you want to go." Arin nodded, but the words slid past him. He heard them, but he did not feel them. In his heart, he thought, "I'm just like this. I can't help it." Days passed, then weeks, all much the same. Arin started many things and finished very few. His books lay open on his desk, his phone nearby, his dreams somewhere very far away. One day, news came that an old wise teacher had arrived in the village. People called him Guruji. He said he had helped many young people find focus, success, and peace of mind. Arin's father saw a small light of hope. "We're going to meet Guruji," he told Arin. They walked together to a simple house with a small garden at the back. Flowers moved softly in the wind, and there was a quiet stillness in the air, as if even the leaves were listening. Guruji was sitting under a tree when they arrived. His eyes were kind but sharp, like he could see more than what was in front of him. Arin's father explained everything. How Arin was smart, but always distracted, always restless, never able to focus long enough to achieve what he was capable of. Guruji listened in silence, and then turned to Arin with a gentle smile. "Is this true?" he asked. Arin looked down at his hands and whispered, "Yes. Try, but my mind keeps running away." Guruji nodded, as if this was the most normal thing in the world. He picked up a small glass of water from a tray nearby, filled almost to the brim, and placed it carefully in Arin's hands. "I want you to do something very simple," Guruji said. "Hold this glass and walk around my garden one time. But there's one condition. Do not spill even a single drop." Arin looked at the glass. It seemed easy enough, he thought. Finally, something I can do well. He stepped onto the garden path, the water trembling slightly near the edge of the glass. At first, he watched it closely, placing his feet carefully. But as he walked, he heard birds singing in the branches above. He heard leaves rustling together. He heard the sound of other children laughing in the distance. His eyes lifted for just a moment to see where the sounds were coming from, and the water splashed over the rim. He quickly focused again, but the distractions kept pulling at him. A bright flower, a buzzing insect, the sound of a cart in the street. Each time he turned his head, a little more water fell. By the time he finished the circle and returned to Guruji, half the glass was empty. Guruji looked at the glass, then at Arin. "Tell me," he said softly, "why did you spill so much water?" Arin felt a familiar wave of shame. "I got distracted," he admitted. I kept hearing things, seeing things. I forgot to look at the glass. Guruji's eyes softened. This glass, he said, is like your goal. The water is your focus. The garden, with all its sounds and movements, is the world around you.
Wow.
It is full of noise, full of things calling for your attention. If you keep turning your head for every sound, every distraction, you will spill your focus, just like you spilled this water. And one day, you will come to the end of the path and realize that you have almost nothing left. The words sank deep into Arin's heart in a way his father's warnings never had. It was no longer just advice. It was a picture he could feel. He could see his life in that trembling glass. For the first time, Arin truly understood. His mind was not his enemy, but it was not yet his friend. It was a powerful force, and he had been letting it run wild. From that day on, Arin decided to try again, this time differently. He started small. He woke up at the same time every morning, even when he didn't feel like it. He set certain hours where his phone stayed in another room, far from his hands. When he studied, he gave himself one subject, one chapter, one page, and promised to give it his full attention, as if it were the glass of water in Guruji's garden. Guruji also taught him a simple meditation. Each morning, Arin sat quietly for a few minutes, eyes closed, watching his breath. Of course, his mind wandered to his friends, to school, to games, but every time it escaped, he gently brought it back, again and again, like a kind shepherd, bringing a sheep back to the path. It was not easy.
Oh, maybe.
Some days Arin felt like nothing was changing, but he kept going. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, something inside Arin began to shift. His memory grew sharper. His thoughts did not drift as far or as often. His grades improved. He finished tasks he started. Teachers began to notice. His father watched quietly, a quiet pride growing in his eyes. 1 year later, a big national competition was announced. Students from many places would compete to solve difficult problems in a limited time. The questions would be tough. The pressure would be high. Arin decided to join. On the day of the competition, the large hall was filled with nervous students. Papers rustled, pens tapped. Fear and excitement floated in the air. When the test began, many students panicked at the sight of the questions. They jumped from one problem to another, their minds racing ahead. Arin closed his eyes for a brief moment and remembered the glass of water. He took a slow breath. Then he opened his eyes and focused on just one question. And then the next. And then the next. He did not think about the time. He did not think about other students. He did not think about failing. He simply gave his full attention to one thing at a time, letting his trained mind carry him forward. When the results were announced, Arin's name was called as the winner. The hall erupted in applause. His teacher smiled. His father's eyes shone with tears. And somewhere far away in a small garden, Guruji heard the news and smiled quietly, as if he had always known. Arin had proven something important, not just to others, but to himself. A disciplined mind is stronger than talent, stronger than luck, stronger even than raw intelligence. From that day on, Arin was known in his village as the boy who mastered his mind not because he never got distracted, but because he learned how to gently bring his attention back again and again to what truly mattered. And maybe as you listen to this, you feel a small spark inside you too. If you do, don't let it fade. Your own mind may feel wild and restless now, but it is not your enemy. It is a powerful horse waiting for a rider. The moment you decide to train it with patience, with small, daily actions, is the moment your next chapter of success quietly begins. If this story touched you, you're welcome to stay. To listen to more late-night stories like this, and to subscribe so we can keep walking this path of strength and wisdom together, one steady breath, one focused step at a time.